My co-coach Lucy ate this one thing for 6 months straight and lost 30 pounds. It's not vegetables, it's not fruit, not protein. There are 3 criteria that this food met to make it work for Lucy, and the food that matches them for you may be different than hers. To figure this out, you have to learn how she got here and why it worked, so you can identify your one thing to eat every day and lose weight. Lucy went through 8 yo-yos until finally losing weight for good. This story focuses on yo-yo number 3, which starts with her having lost a lot of weight between high school and college. Lucy was thrilled to start off college with weight loss behind her. Little did she know how ill-prepared she was to handle food temptations at college.
I had a dining hall pass, which meant unlimited food access 15 hours a day, every day. I'd stop by the dining hall to class in the morning, grabbing some coffee and cookies to stay awake during the morning classes. Then I'd swing by for lunch, and of course, grab some delicious soft-serve ice cream as well, because free scoops, who can say no? And then I'd binge on boxes and boxes of cookies as I worked through my homework and crammed for exams. All that sugar made crunch time feel less stressful, but also heralded my sugar addiction.
The alarm bells didn't ring for Lucy though until she came home during break to comments from her family of, "Put on the freshman 15, huh?" Yep, she was officially in the swing of yo-yo number 3. Putting her knowledge from yo-yo number 2 to work, she realized all the cookies, ice cream, and lattes she was having were not only calorie dense but also low in satiety, leading to endless snacking sessions. So she decided to set a calorie budget of 100 calories per day for snacks, a tactic with great success during yo-yo era number 2. But at yo-yo number 2, she didn't crave sugar the way she did now.
Okay, this is my 100 calories of snacks for today. What's in there? This is it. No more after this. Oh no. This was 300 calories. Well, today is shot. Might as well eat what I want today and try again tomorrow.
But then the next day, same thing would happen. Then again and again and again. Until finally she realized this approach was never going to work. So what did she do? Cut out all snacks altogether. No budgeting, no portioning, nada. Cold turkey quit buying all snacks. This went well for the first 2 to 4 days, but then by the weekend, she would be in the clutches of insane cravings.
In fact, one time I remembered I really wanted coconut cream pie, so much that at 10 p.m. I drove to the grocery store to get some. When I got there, I saw that coconut cream pie, one slice was 400 calories, and while right next to it was a cherry pie that was 300 calories per slice. But they sold the cherry pie as a whole pie instead of slices. I bought it, figuring I'd just eat one cherry pie slice and save 100 calories. You can probably see where this story is going. I ended up eating half the whole cherry pie, as in 900 calories in one sitting. Looking back, this seems like such a duh outcome because I was so desperate. I had quit sweets to meet my targets, but then I'd have a stressful day or watch my skinny friends eat whatever, and I feel angry that I couldn't have my favorite foods. So I would hold off until finally I couldn't take it anymore. In a desperate, angry mode, I'd go buy my favorite food, but would rationalize that I will portion it. But then, of course, with that desperate energy, there was no controlling myself. I'd overeat. Then I'd feel bad and hopeless about overeating and throw in the towel for the rest of the day, eating all my favorite foods with a desperation of, I'll never get to eat this again. Next day, I tell myself that no more, I will quit sweets altogether. But then this whole cycle would repeat itself over and over and over again. I felt totally out of control. Worse, with each cycle of this not so merry-go-round, I started to lose trust in myself. I felt if I can't stick to something I have 100% control over, like what I eat, how can I trust myself to achieve things that are not 100% in my control, like landing a new job, or even trusting myself to show up consistently to any new nutrition or workout program I sign up for. But then, of course, when I don't try, I'm guaranteed to get stuck. And yet, as I watch others try and make progress while I stayed stuck, trust in myself eroded more and more. I felt helpless, stuck, and frustrated.
In round who knows what number of the cycle, Lucy realized her not buying sweets was not enough. Her boyfriend was still buying sweets and keeping it in the house, and that was affecting her. So she asked him to stop buying it, which he felt was too big a change for him. So instead, they compromised that he could buy sweets, but he had to not eat them in front of Lucy and hide the sweets. But then one day...
Where's the rest of the ice cream sandwich? But you said you didn't want any. Yes, but I want it now! That was good. I'm done now. Wait, I don't want another one?
This was the first criteria. She had found something that satisfied her sweet craving, but she didn't like it so much that she would binge. But she also knew from history that 20 minutes later, she'd walk by the kitchen and go for an ice cream sandwich, even if she didn't want more, because procrastination and stress made her self-soothe with sweets. So her boyfriend and Lucy stuck to hiding all the ice cream sandwiches behind a pile of frozen vegetables and frozen meals, so it was difficult to get to. This worked, but only because it was combined with criteria number 2.
I found criteria 2 when I decided I'd like to enjoy my one ice cream sandwich of the day with my boyfriend, who tends to eat dessert at the end of the day. Soon it became a game for me to see how far into the day could I delay eating my one ice cream sandwich while knowing for sure that I will have one. I find that while it was hard for me to wait days to eat a treat, one day was the perfect fun amount of time for me to wait. It also aligned well with how my willpower naturally fluctuated.
So criteria 2 was finding the sweet spot between too little delay, such that it's just normal snacking, and too much delay where it's torture and desperation. And then making it a game on a day-to-day basis to see how much she could push the edge of her sweet spot. Note that she wasn't trying to one-up herself day over day. This was a fun game. One day she'd eat her ice cream sandwich at 6 p.m., other days at 11 p.m. Didn't matter. The point was just to have fun with it.
I still remember the joy I'd feel as I heard the crinkle of the wrapper of the ice cream sandwich being revealed. I would tune out everything else and focus 100% of my attention on it. I'd even smell it for a bit before taking that first bite. I'd chew as slowly as possible, letting each bite linger, pausing between bites to savor the aftertaste. This was another game for me. How long can I make the ice cream sandwich experience last?
So the third criteria is committing to a space, an environment where you can 100% focus every day on your one treat. Who are the people with you or not with you? Where is it in your home or is it outside your home? Can you commit to putting away all electronics at that time? For the first few months, the 3 criteria were met by working with the ebbs and flows of her willpower. But then as the months kept going with this ritual, something magical started happening.
I started noticing that my treat at the end of the day felt less and less like a release, and I liked it, but it was no longer cherished with such fervent urgency. I was becoming desensitized to sugar, and after 6 months, I got to the point where I stuck to one sweet a day, not because of rules, but because I generally felt that's enough and stopped. And there's no way I would have gotten to this point without sugary foods to tide me over though. Nowadays, I don't even need sweets every day. And when I do have it, I'd eat more than just ice cream sandwich, that's for sure. And it's more of a pleasant zen-like enjoyment, not a desperate release and joy.
The most interesting part to me is how Lucy took each thing that didn't work and flipped it around to do something that did work. So don't get disheartened if you try and fail. The number one pitfall I see is people throwing the baby out with the bathwater when they fail. Sit down and look at what didn't work. Why? And flip it around to shape what your next try should be. At this point, you have 2 options. 1, if you'd like Lucy's and my help in shortcutting you through the trials and errors, check out the free sneak peek to my Badass Body Boss program in the comments and description below. Or if you want to DIY it, then you don't want to ignore this video where Lucy dives into her 3 other trial and errors when it came to overeating. These are deep self-sabotaging patterns we see in many of our Badass Body Boss students, and you can leap ahead by learning from them instead of the hard way on your own. So click on this video now, and always remember, you can do it.